what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of your women.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the GOBBLN Premier LeagueCast. We are in Season 22 currently, and this is Episode 4, Week 3 of the league. The league flipped today, and we have had a couple of matches already played for Week 4, but we're going to ignore those matches for now for the duration of this league cast. So we're going to go through all 4 divisions real quick and just touch base on the standings and the shape of the teams. In Broken Jaw, we have had a match played, and it was S. Hunter and Voreal played to a 1-1 draw. So we'll ignore that draw for now when we're looking at the leaderboard here. So Shushnik before this match was 3-0-0, and I'm sorry, not Shushnik, S. Hunter. Sorry about that. S. Hunter before this match was 3-0-0 with his High Elves, and he had let me know earlier today that he was the only team in the league that had not given up a touchdown yet, but that is now gone, obviously, as this game ended 1-1. So Voreal was finally able to score a touchdown on him. And Voreal, playing Undead, was at 0-2-1 before this match. So he actually was in 5th place behind Evil Smirk's Orcs. So in this division, we had S. Hunter's High Elves in first at 3-0-0. We had Novcaster's Nurgles at 2-0-1. Tenkin's Necromantic at 1-1-1. And then we had Evil Smirk's Orcs at 1-0-2. We had Voreal's Undead at 0-2-1. And we had Blog's Orcs at 0-1-2. So a tight division there in the middle of the pack from 3rd, 4th, and 5th. But 1st and 2nd starting to pull away a little bit. 1st especially at the 3-0-0 mark. And was still undefeated. We'll take just a really quick glance at the teams just to see where they're at before the start of these games this week. Maybe we will. There we go. So the Orcs of Evil Smirk has a full roster going into this week. He does have a few red on his roster, but he also has some green to offset that. So got a full roster going into his match this week. Blog's Orcs. Same for him, a full healthy roster going into this week. A couple of green, 3 green actually, and 1 red. So he's looking really good with his roster, nice and clean. The Necro of Tenkin with the super duper crazy wolf. Pretty clean roster here. A couple of red, but they're both on zombies. You don't really care about that. 4 green, including the 1 werewolf that is just ridiculous. And so he's still alive and living. His other wolf is also level 6 and actually only 16 points away from becoming a legend. So potential there for him to get up there. He does have a niggle on one of his flesh golems as well. And then one of his whites is very high level. So 3 extremely high level pieces there that are carrying all of his green as well. But clean roster going into his match this week. And then Novcaster with his Nurgle has a clean roster going into this week as well. No red, it looks like. No red at all, and a couple of green. A Strength 5 Warrior and a Move 8 Pestigore. Double move boosted Pestigore. That's a nice pesty. And then the 2 guys that already played their match this week, Voreal. So going into next week, he will have a full clean roster. A couple of red on the team. No green. So he'll have a full roster going into week 4. Or actually, this is week 4, isn't it? Yeah, this is week 4. So going into week 5, he'll have that clean roster. Whoops. And then the High Elves of S. Hunter. See what he looks like going into week 5. He'll have 1 miss next game, and that's a catcher. And he's either missed next game or niggled. He didn't take a stat break. Ooh, he took a niggle. That's always a shitty injury to take on a high elf catcher. He's also got a move broke lineman. That's a rookie. Everything else is clean. No green at all. So he'll be missing a catcher going into the next match. He'll only have 13 guys on his roster. So that is Broken Jaw for week 3. We will now go to Fractured Skull. It was a death that he rolled to a niggle. All right, cool. Well, at least he saved the death, but with the niggle, it's probably not going to be long before he ends up dying anyway. So, but you take advantage of the piece and the skills that he has until something like that happens, right? That's all you can do. All right, so nobody here has played yet. In this division, we have Oni and Swerve tied for first place, both at 2 wins and 1 loss. Following closely behind are my Goblins with 1 win and 2 draws. So I am at 5 points. They're both at 6. Behind me at 3 points is Detox's Lizards. And then without a win yet is Gunter and Manile. Both of their Chaos teams are at 0-2 and 1. So these teams have been getting beat up a little bit, especially Gunter's team. So, and Detox's team. So Detox's Lizards. And let's see who plays who this week. Swerve plays my Goblins. Manio plays Derek's Detox's Lizards, and Gunter plays Oni's Chaos. So Detox's Lizards, again, have taken quite a beating. He's down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players on his roster, and 2 of those are missing this game, including the Crocs and Sunshine Asaurus. He lost Peaches that last match, Asaurus to death. His Strength 5 source. His Croxagore took an armor break. Got a ton of red on this team and only 1 green now, and that's the Super Skink. The Super Skink's going to keep him in matches, though, so we'll see what happens here, but his team is not looking very pretty. He's down to 1130 in team value. That is absolutely rough. This next match, he's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 source and 2 skinks, and then he's going to have 5 loner skinks. But he will be getting a lot of money, so he'll probably get Silly Billy and maybe even Merc or Crocs, who knows. But looking ugly on that roster. Swerve, who just did all that damage to his Lizards last match, and who I have to play my next match, didn't take any damage in that match, it looks like. So he'll have a full clean roster of 13 players going in against the Goblins. Only 2 Claw. 2 warriors that are claw. He does not carry a Minotaur. But he has 3 green and 1 red, it looks like, and that's it, going in against my Goblins. He'll be giving me about 1,000 in inducements, so that should be a fun match. And the next one is Manile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on Manile's roster, so he'll have some loners. He's also in the rebuilding process, as his team has just taken a beating through the second part of last year and the first part of this season. Should be an interesting matchup, so we'll see what happens between Manile and Detox. Detox probably will still get a little bit of money, but he might get enough to get Silly Billy, but that'll probably be about it. But anyway, Manile's roster, he's got 1 green and a few red. And, yeah, this team's just, it's just nasty. When I do the mid-season LeagueCast review of the first half, I'll do a good in-depth look at all these teams. We'll see what these teams are looking like. Gunter has also taken some hard hits this season, but his team is not as beat up as Manile or Detox's. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, he still has an 11-man roster. He's got 1 missing this game. And he's got a lot of red. 2 of his Chaos Warriors are hit with red. 1 of his Beastmans is double redded. But he does have a few green, too, to help make up for that. So his roster's, it's beat up a little bit, but not nearly as bad as Manile or Detox's. And then Gunter gets to play Oni this week. Oni's roster is looking pretty clean. He's going to have a miss next game Beastman as well. No red on Oni's team, except for the Beastman that's either missed next game or niggled. He's just missed next game, so no red at all on Oni's team. And he does have 4 different green skill ups. So a very solid Chaos roster right here still going. He hasn't been beat up very hard yet. And then we got my Goblins, still pretty green, or pretty clean, I should say. The only red is the Goblin that just took the strength break, but we'll be keeping him. as I just bought my APO after that last match. So I'll be carrying in a 13 Goblin roster into a 1,000 inducement match. So should be a fun game against the Chaos. I imagine I'll get slaughtered, but it'd be fun anyway, and I'll hopefully have some good old-fashioned goofiness fun. So that'll be it for the Fractured Skull division. We'll move on to Groin Strain. We have had a match here play, Siren and Loop. Siren beat Loop 2-0. So we will discard that game for now for the point of the standings. We have Limbocha is still undefeated at 3-0-0. Siren was 2-0-1 after we take that win away from him. In second place, Arabi behind them at 1-1-1. Delavis at 1-0-2. Tied with Loop at 1-0-2 as well. And bringing up the tail end of the division is, or competition, division's the better word, is Shushnik and his Goblins at 0-1-2. So let's go look at the rosters here. Dell's playing Shushnik's Goblins, and Arabi is playing Limbocha's Dwarves. So let's look at Dell's Lizards. I know he's had it pretty hard this season too. He's been taking a beating. Not nearly as bad as Detox though. He does have his Crocs in all 6 source for this next match, but he does have a ton of red. Holy crap. That's a lot of red on those big boys. A couple of armor breaks, a bunch of move breaks. Move breaks aren't too bad, though. You can deal with those, as long as there aren't niggles on them as well. And then his Skinks, he's got a couple of green and then 1 red on his Skink. So he'll be playing Shushnik's Goblins. And Shushnik's Goblin team is 14 Goblin roster with only 1 red, and it's on his Bomber. It looks like it's a niggle. And no skill ups. So pretty plain Goblin team there. Nothing special about that. Then we have Limbocha's Dwarves. And he is missing a Troll Slayer for this game. Is he niggled or just missed next game? He is just missed next game. But he will be missing a Troll Slayer for his match against Arabi. Pretty clean roster, though. No red at all. And only 1 green, and that's a edge bump on a runner, which is a nice green bump up for a runner. So pretty general roster and dwarf team there for Limbocha. That brings up Arabi and his Orcs. No Chaos. He's got a full roster going against the Dwarves. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 claws, so he's got the potential to do a lot of damage to these Dwarves this match if the dice are going good for him. So that should be a fun one to watch and see how it plays out. He does have a couple of green, too, a couple of Strength 5 Chaos Warriors. And he is carrying a Minotaur. Minotaur is the only red on the team. Oh, no, he's got a couple of niggles down here as well. Yeah, this is going to be a tough matchup for Limbocha. Sorry. He could have a tough one here if the dice are going good for the Chaos, if the armor break and the casualty dice are going good for the Chaos. And then the 2 teams that already played, we have Loop's Orcs and Siren's Orcs. So these rosters we'll be looking at week 5 now, and Loop's Orcs are at 4. Oh, he's missing a Bob, so he must have lost a Bob in that match, I guess, against Siren. Actually, let's just go check the match stats real quick and see. It was not that one. Loop and Siren. No, he did not lose a Bob in that match, so he must have been missing it already before that game. Anyway, he's missing a Bob. So he's got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's got 11-man roster. He does have a Troll with block. 3 green, only 1 red, and that's a blitz. Oh, actually 2 red. There's a niggled blitzer and an edge broke blitzer. So not. I mean, he's a clean roster, but he's missing a Bob, and he's still not going to have him replaced for the next match. So not perfectly clean, but not terrible as well. And that brings up Siren's Orcs. His roster is not completely clean either. He does have all 4 Bobs, though, but with a couple red on those. He's got all 4 Blitzers with no red there, but a couple of green, a couple of nice greens. He's carrying a troll as well and 3 linemen. Got a lineman miss next game for week 5. Looks like he's just missed next game, no niggle. So both the York teams will be missing a player for week 5. And Loop's team will not have all 4 Bobs as well. So, all right, and that's it for groin strain. Now into smashed hand. No matches have been played here yet. That's nice. So we'll get a full rundown here. Leading the division is Angior's Necro with a perfect 3-0-0 record. Followed closely behind by McLean's Orcs at 2-1-1, only 2 points behind. 3 points behind is Nefarious's Lizards at 2-0-1. Oldrig's Chaos Dwarfs bringing in 4th place with an 0-2-1 record. So there's quite a drop-off there between 3rd and 4th. 4-point drop-off. Acropolis's Orcs in 5th at 0-1-2. And Chonkus's Lizards bringing up the tail end of the division at 0-0-3. This week we have Oldrig against, is that Chonkus? Yeah. Oldrig against Chonkus, Angior against Nefarious, and then McLean and Acrop. So the 2 Orcs are playing each other. So let's look at McLean and Acrop since they play each other with the Orcs. McLean's team is completely clean. A red on his thrower, so a niggle on his thrower. Everything else is clean. He's got a lot of green on this team. 2 strength boosts, 3 edge boosts, and a move boost. This team is pretty ugly, and it's completely clean going into this matchup against Acropolis. The Acropolis' Orc team, he's missing a couple players for this game, a lineman and a lineman. He does have some red, but he's also got quite a few green, including 3 strength bumps. Ugh, so gross. And then 1 edge bump. So the Orcs for Acrop are not clean, but he's got a lot. He's carrying a 15-man roster, and he does have some green to go with it, so that's nice. All right, so then we have Oldrig's Chaos Dwarves against Chonkus's Lizards. Oldrig's Chaos Dwarves, 12-man roster. It is full roster at this point. Doesn't have anybody missing for this next matchup. He does have a ton of red though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different red. Yep, 5 red, and then he's also got 4 green though to help offset that. So got a solid build going here, but a lot of red does not help at all. He'll be going up against Chonkus's Lizards. And Chunks' Lizards, he has a Saurus that's going to be missing this game. A block break tackle Saurus. Is he just missed next game or niggled? Ooh, he is niggled. And a miss next game. So he was already niggled. He's just missed next game on this injury. So a couple of red, 4 red, looks like. 5 with a niggle there on a skink. So 5 red versus 3 green. So Chonks' roster is not perfectly clean, but not completely terrible either. And he will be missing a source for this next match, which is going to hurt him. And then the last 2 is Angior in his Necro against Nefarious, I think. Was that who he played? Anyway, he's got a white missing this game. He's got only one red, unless this white is niggled. He is not. He's just missed this game. So really only 1 red on this team, and that's a move busted zombie. No green though at all. So pretty generic, plain Necro team at this point. He's got some good skill ups on the Wolves, which you'd expect. A couple of decent skill ups on Flesh Golems. Everything else is pretty average for Angior. And then he will be playing Nefarious's Lizards. Nef's Lizards are coming into this match with a full roster, which which is good for him. He had a couple weeks there where he was missing some players. He does have a 1 red, it looks like. 2 red, as he's got a niggled skink. But he's also got some nice skill ups here. A strength 5 Saurus, a double move boosted skink, so a move 10 skink, and a move 9 skink. So a move 8 skink here is he's move broke, and he might not be niggled, but he's move broke and move boosted. But he keeps him because he rolled block right off the bat. So I would too. I'd keep that at that point. So a good full roster there from Nefarious. And that finishes up the review of all the divisions. So what we're going to do real quick after that is we are going to take a quick look at there we go. A quick look at the betting cages and the Survivor board. Betting cages after week 3. We've got that's the week 3 there. We'll look at the standings here. So we have Acropolis has won 2 of the 3 weeks, and Gunter Dorkson won the other week. And we will resort this real quick so that we can see the actual standings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. All right. So we got Acropolis in the lead with 20. Uldrig in second with 18. Gunter in third now after that big week in week 2 with 17. Evil Smirk at 16 in fourth place. A 3-way tie for fifth place between Siren, Delavis, and Limbocha at 15. A 3-way tie for 8th place between Loop, S. Hunter, and Tenkin at 14. And then a 3-way tie for 11th between myself, McLean, and Angior, all at 13. And then Blog and Nefarious are tied at 14th with 12 apiece. So that is the betting cages. For Survivor, we've had a few guys out already get eliminated. As you can see here, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys getting eliminated. Evil Smirk was the last one, and actually, yep, he hit 3, so let's do that for him. There we go, because he's out. We have tied for 13th place. We have 4 guys that can only withstand a half a loss right now before they're eliminated, and that's Blog, Detox, Orabi, and Voreal. Then we have 4 guys tied at 2 losses for 9th place. 1 full loss or 2 ties would put them out. And that is Angior, Delavis, Limbocha, and Tenkin. We have 2 guys tied in 7th place at 1.5 losses, so they can withstand a full loss and a tie. And that is Gunter Dorkson and Uldrig. 4 guys tied in 3rd place with 1 loss, which means they could be eliminated if both of their picks were full losses. That is Siren, Loop, S. Hunter, and myself. And then Acropolis and McLean both with half a loss means that they could withstand 2 full losses and still survive to next week. So they are the only 2 that cannot get eliminated in week 4. Which I haven't updated all the picks yet, so I don't know who's picked what this week in betting or Survivor. I will be doing that later tonight after the LeagueCast and my Stomping Fields match. So that's where we're at with the betting cages and Survivor board. So next thing we are going to look at is, got a couple of PMs here I was going to read. One thing, Evil Smirk wanted to get a fact check in. He says, in my last LeagueCast, I responded to a question about a concede. In my response, I mentioned that being awarded up to 2 random touchdowns depending on the score at the time of concede, to be sure, I said that it does allow random SPPs, or the random touchdowns give SPPs. Evil Smirk is saying that he does not believe that Blood Bowl 2 actually awards SPP for those bonus random touchdowns like Blood Bowl 1 did, but he is not 100% positive. And he asks if I could verify that for the next LeagueCast. I have not verified that. However, I can tell you 100% for sure that an admin concede or any other admin result does award random touchdowns, and it does award those SPPs for those random touchdowns. I also can verify 100% that if you're in the middle of a match and your opponent concedes, let's say the match is 1-0, you're winning. Your opponent concedes. I do know without a doubt 100% Blood Bowl 2 will give the coach that did not concede, will make sure that that coach wins by 2 touchdowns. So if you are winning 1-0, it will make the score 2-0. Now, what I don't know for sure is that giving that random touchdown to make it 2-0, I don't know if that actually gets awarded to a specific player and that player gets awarded specific SPPs for that. So, what I can do to see if that actually works is let's do a friendly. I don't know if this will work this way or not, but we're going to try it. Let's go to our skinks. That's what we want. And we'll go to this guy. That's good enough. Yes. So let's just try this and see what happens. Because this is a friendly versus AI, I don't know if it will give us a completely 100% accurate result, but we'll try it and see. I do know 100% though it will give you it will give you a 2 touchdown difference win. And if you weren't winning by 2 at the time of concede, then it will give you those random touchdowns to make sure you win by 2 touchdowns. I just don't know that those random touchdowns give you actual SPPs. I would expect that they would, they should, but I don't know that for sure. So we're just going to do this real quick. Let's let him kick off here. We'll get into my turn. There we go. Now I'm going to concede. And it gives him 2 random touchdowns to win. And actually, you know what? No, I do know it does give you the touchdowns. I don't even need to look at this now. I do know it does. Absolutely. So I get the 2. He gets the 2 random MVPs. And it won't show here because it is AI. But I do know for a fact it does give you the random MVPs. Because we've done admin matches where you do the miss next game reset. And for in between our premier seasons. And it does absolutely give you, when you concede, it gives the other coach the random touchdowns. Yeah, I'm pretty positive that it does actually give you the touchdowns there, Evil Smirk. So that should answer that question. Then we have a highlight submission. So we will go over this highlight. Not sure how long you want a highlight to be, but starting with the bottom half of turn 12. I don't know if it's supposed to be the whole rest of the match or just turn 12. But we'll fire it up and we'll see. Let's see what we find out here. Premier. What division is he in? He is in Broken Jaw. Hey, what's up, Furry? I am doing really good tonight. All right, so we're looking at teams, and we're looking at Evil Smirk, and we're going to go to history. We're going to go here, and we're going to watch this replay. So we'll go to the bottom half of turn 12, and we'll watch a turn or two here and see what he's talking about. Turn 12 ends with something. I'll let you guys see. There is some entertaining craziness. So we'll see just what entertaining means to him. Hey, Cicero, how you doing, man? Welcome in. We got a chainsaw on the pitch, it looks like. So always going to be some craziness when you have a chainsaw, right? All right, so let's skip on through to turn 12 here. Looks like 0-0 at halftime. And what is our... throw a rock and get the ref or canceled. Okay. So let's go ahead and skip on through to turn 12 here. I've been enjoying your time in GOBBLN so far with my Norse team that has beaten up Gobbles twice now. Nice. That's awesome. What's your coach name in GOBBLN? Because I know it's not Cicero, Serene Cicero. All right, so let's go ahead and skip on through here. Turn 12. The bottom half of turn 12, he said. Who got the chainsaw? He got the chainsaw. All right, we're gonna go ahead and watch this part here. I think he meant the top half of turn 12, not the bottom half. Pass to a GOBBLN blitzer or an orc blitzer there. Sorry. Velociraptor. All right, cool. Welcome into the stream. Nice to meet you. There's a stun on a flesh golem. There's another stun on the other flesh golem. Holy cow. That's a couple of nice stuns right there. Ooh, and a break and a KO on a zombie. That was 3 really nice hits. 3 straight breaks. Really stupid for the troll. Yeah, I was going to say, I see a foul coming on a wolf here. Ooh, on the big boy wolf. Nice. Oh, he breaks him. Oh, he crossed him. Badly hurt, but he regens. Ah. He tried to kill that wolf. Oh, that would have been nice. Oh, and the chainsaw gets sent off. But Super Duper Wolf is off the pitch for the rest of this drive. Strength 5, Edge 4. The other wolf's still alive, though. Oh, and he fails the dodge. Alright, so this must be where all the craziness starts happening. He makes the dodge there. Gets the takedown on the blitzer. Ball pops. Oh, and then he fails the dodge to try to pick the ball up. The ball bounces into the wolf's hands. Oh, man. Well, that was fun. I'm going to see a tackle blitz right here. Yep. Gets the POW. Sidesteps. No break on the wolf. Moves over to cover the ball. He'll pick the ball up with him. Oh, no, he doesn't. Oh, he's got the double edge boosted piece there. Yeah. He'll pass it. Yep. Could see that coming a mile away. Wrestle. Was that the... That was the zombie that wrestled as the troll... Troll had blocks, so, yep. Alright, so nothing too special there. Now what kind of craziness is the Necro going to pull out here? Dodge out there for a 1-die block. Re-rolls it into a POW. So that's craziness that he was talking about. Oh, he piles on. Still no break. Ball does not bounce out. Dodges out with the wolf. Gets it. Fails the first dodge. Makes the second dodge. And he just stops there. Goofy orcs, or goofy wolves. Gotta love them wolves, man. Get the tackle blitz there, yep. Doesn't get the POW, or the yellow. He does get the yellow on the reroll, though. No break. Bounce is perfect for the orcs. That's exactly what you wanted there. So now just doing some hits. The wolf dodges out, gets a 1-die, gets the yellow, and breaks and claws. KOs. Ah, he uses the APO to keep him on the pitch. To keep the KO on the pitch. Gets a 1-die POW there. With the zombie. Couple of hits that don't do much of anything. Well, that one takes a golem down at least. Bounces the ball. Bounces perfect for the undead. Or the necro, sorry. Gets a 1-die yellow there on the blitzer with edge. Does he pile on? No, he doesn't. Smart move. Fails the first dodge. He re-rolls. Makes both the next dodges. Holy cow. Oh, and then a 1-die skull. And the wolf gets stunned, so the wolf is done. That wolf saved that game for him so far, though. We'll see if the orcs are able to score here or not. Get the yellow there, which is what they needed. Get the yellow there, but doesn't do no good because he's dodge. Gets the yellow there. Ooh, I would have pushed him on the ball. KO on the zombie. I would have taken a chance and pushed him on the ball there, I think. Blitz is there to get the white off the ball, the edge piece, so he can catch. Ooh, and a break on the white. Moves him into the end zone. Nice play. Get your free hit there. He'll push up and get another hit. Nope, not going to do the hit there. The long bomb pass to the York in the end zone for the score. So Evil almost, or Tinkin almost stops the Yorks from scoring there with all the shenanigans with the wolf. But in the end, the Yorks are still able to pull it out with the edge pieces. It ended up being a great use of the APO there to keep the edge 5 thrower on the pitch to keep that KO on. So very, very good use of the APO there. And the Orcs ended up winning 1-0. So great replay. Great highlight. Ended up being a few turns long, but nice submission and a nice highlight. Thank you for that submission, Evil Smirk. And well done on the win and the great set of turns there to get the win. All right. Last but not least, before we shut this league cast down, this episode down, we are going to go over the bounty bonus for week 4. Sorry. We haven't had any bounty bonuses yet this season because real life has jumped up and slowed Crises down a little bit, and he hasn't been able to get to it, but he has gotten to it this week, and he's going to make up for it this week and next week with some extras. As you can see here, Black Flags has fallen behind this season due to otherworldly, literally, circumstances. To make up for this, we have a special bounty bonus announcement. 3 weeks have gone by in Premier this season and no additional reward for blood. We are to blame, and we take responsibility for our actions as we are understaffed. So, to correct this problem, we will now set up multi-bounty bonuses for Week 4. These bonuses will carry into Week 5 as well as an additional bonus, and an additional bonus will go live per normal for Week 5. So, for the current week, Week 4, there are 3 bonuses that you can get on bounties extra on top of whatever might be applied to a player. The first one is overpaid. So any player with a value of 180K or more will have a bounty bonus placed upon them. The second one is foulers. Any player that has dirty player or sneaky get as a skill has an extra bounty on them. And last but not least, the weak. Any player that already has a perm injury of any type. In other words, a red cross on skills. I believe a niggle counts as a permanent injury as well. I believe. I'm not 100% positive on that. We'll have to check with Crises. But I believe that in this case, the niggle would count as a perm injury. So, on top of normal bounties that a player may have, if any of these 3 points happen to be on it as well, then, or you happen to kill anybody or permanently injure anybody with one of these that falls into one of these 3 categories, you get the bounty bonus as well. Bounty bonuses are let's see here. Random bounty specials. Black Flag will offer a bounty special from time to time. If you place a specific amount or more on a qualified bounty, you will be entitled to place an additional amount at no extra charge. Most specials will be determined randomly from a pool. The purpose is to elicit more bounty placements. Without giving anyone a heads up on the upcoming specials, individually, the specials will clearly target some team or players, but collectively they are not meant to have too much unfair bias. Specials will not be repeated twice in the same season. They will be drawn randomly. The current pool of potential specials that might be offered on teams or players are as follows, blah, 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 blah. I thought this might say what you got. I think it's a 10K bounty, which is basically a 1 DM bounty. Hey, Shadow Dice, how you doing? So if you collect a bounty, you get 1 DM into your count, I believe. I'm not 100% positive on that. Would need to double check with Crises on that, but I think that's how those work. Active bounties, you just kind of look through here and find them. Now, I wanted to check and see because I don't remember. Because I killed a player on McLean's team last week, and I think that player gave me a bounty. So we're going to go back and see, and if they did, I need to get collected on it. anyway, that was in Stomping Fields, not in Premier. If you think you may have gotten a bounty on somebody in Premier, you can come in here. Or if you're going up against a team that you think might have bounties placed on their players, you can come in here and you can look for that player name. And, for instance, if it's Crazy Tenkin's Discount Bounty Emporium. So basically it's people on Tenkin's team. There's a lot of them that have bounties. So you can come in here and you can look for the specific team that you want, or specific player that you want. I'm going to tell you. Or actually, Tenkin put this bounty up. So he went and picked one guy on each team that was in Smashed Hand and put a bounty on him. So, for instance, last season on my Norse, my Blitzer, Tenkin put a bounty on him. He was a level 5, blah, blah, blah. He put a 10k bounty on him. So if anybody would have permanently injured or killed my Blitzer, or my Berserker, sorry, then they would have collected that 10k bounty. So that's how you see if there's a bounty on a player. Then if you permanently injure them or kill them, then you collect a bounty on them. That's one of the special fluff additions to Premier that you get to take advantage of while you are playing in Premier. So, in any event, that's how bounties work. That is the bounty bonus special running this week. So, keep that in mind if you are in Premier. And if you collect a bounty, then you'll get some extra DMs to be able to spend either in between seasons or potentially even during a season if you wanted to spend it on something that way. So, an Ulf with dodge is not bad, especially if you get break tackle on them later on. And it helps keep them standing up. So, yep. Dodge is not bad at all for him. Alright, so that is going to be the end of episode 4 of the Goblin Premier League cast. I am going to end the recording here. Thanks for getting on and watching. Everybody that got on to watch, and thanks for watching the video once it gets posted if you didn't get to catch it live. We will be back next Monday, hopefully for a full session and a more in-depth look. This week was a little more abbreviated just because running out of time. But hopefully next week we'll be able to get a full episode in and have a more in-depth look at things. And we're getting close to the end of the first half. That mid-season flip will definitely have a longer episode, as we'll actually go in depth on each team again and see where each team stands and how their roster looks. But for now, this will be the end of the League Cast, and we will see you guys next week.
Lo, there do I see my father. Lo, there do I see my mother and my sisters and my brothers. Lo, there do I see the line of
My people, back to the beginning.
Lo, they do call to me. They bid me take my place among them.
in the halls of Valhalla,
Where the brave
may live